Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Saturday, February 5th, 2022, 3 p.m. Eastern. Do nothing and be everything. This just might be the best advice you will ever receive in your entire life. Do nothing and be everything. It goes against everything that we have been taught to become successful and abundant in this world. Yet, each time we truly relax and do absolutely nothing, we stop trying to achieve anything in this world, and the miraculous sensation begins to arise. It's the feeling of deep, sweet inner peace. Doing nothing also means not touching the mind, not trying to micromanage the thoughts passing through. Instead, letting them appear and disappear, as if they were clouds in the vast open sky. Enjoy the view. Sit back. Watch the mind from a distance. Don't touch the mind at all. Don't do anything. Stop everything and just be still. When you truly do nothing, desiring nothing at all, suddenly you discover a magical, limitless feeling inside. It's like a divine, spacious, cosmic energy that takes over you. Only a relaxed, unfocused mind has enough space to let this in. The more you surrender to the experience of doing nothing, the more you'll feel you are one with everything and everyone. You'll lose those old habits of feeling separate, lonely, and isolated. Be open to a new experience of who is. You are much bigger than the mind can imagine. No matter where you are or who you are with, make some space in your day for you to quietly give yourself this ultimate vacation. Let go of doing and becoming for at least 20 minutes. Explore your most empty self, the one who is truly relaxed, at peace with all of life, and is being breathed by life. You just might be on the edge of discovering the most amazing experience available on earth. Enjoy. Unless you become a Buddha, which is an awakened being, you have not lived at all, because you will not know the great poetry of life, the great music of existence, Osho. This life that we're in is filled with so many wondrous things. Every direction that we look, the universe is offering something amazing and new to experience, explore, and discover. There is this genuine sweetness to this life that continuously opens you and fills you up so that no matter what is going on in the outer world, you can access a cosmic connection that opens your heart and awakens your soul. Every moment of life has the potential to be deeply enjoyed. They say that the kingdom of God is found within. And they are right. We are all here to discover this heavenly presence inside ourselves every second of our lives. We are here to bathe in the sensual succulence of our souls and feel what it's like to be showered with love, acceptance, and appreciation 24 hours a day. This is the first direction to becoming a true living master of your life. Imagine that these qualities are already inside you. They already are, yet perhaps they may have fallen asleep, like seeds that were planted long ago. They just need some nourishment to sprout. Once these young sprouts have established roots in you, they'll grow deeper and create a firm foundation in a more enlightened reality. This is a sacred inner work of which any enlightened being has done. They have devoted their life to nourishing their internal soil. They've composted the weeds, brought sunlight to their sprouts, helped deepen their roots, and allowed themselves to harvest the nutrients which each plant has to offer. Their level of dedication to their inner garden is so profound that everything else in this life becomes illusory and seems to take the back row. The enlightened being is a natural person, a normal human being, just like you and me. Yet this person has become so intimately connected with nature that they have realized something extremely profound. They know that they are not separate from the universe on any level, yet are a living, breathing, divine expression of it. The enlightened being has discovered the deepest intimacy with life, and this intimate connection is integrated in their everyday existence. It is coursing through their breath and the marrow of their bones. The intimacy with existence is so powerful that there is not 1 ounce of fear left in the enlightened being. They love and accept life as it is, seeing the world as a mirror, reflecting the thoughts they think. They understand that no one is separate from the divine multi-faced reflection of their selves, showing up in 7 billion, 8 billion different disguises. They realize we are all unique individuals operating as one. This sacred understanding is why an enlightened being has real compassion for every living thing in this world. At the deepest level, the enlightened being has found a profound sense of peace with all that is. They live in a constant state of acceptance of all the darkness and lightness found in this life. They do not judge others, themselves, or this world, for they know that is just a limited, narrow perspective on the truth of existence. They know they are an infinite soul on an eternal journey that has no boundaries on space or time. The enlightened being can live in this 3D world without attachment to this dualistic paradigm and feel connected with their spiritual permanence. In this spiritual dimension is where they are free and feel the deepest love known to humankind. It is this connection with the divine within that causes them to accept all that is in this life and totally enjoy the experience of being alive. The enlightened being is a highly sensitive, supersensual person. They are so open, vulnerable, and present to the living pulse of the life force all around them. It's as if they never left their mother's womb. They are living in this sensual connection with life in harmony with every breath they inhale. It is as if they are the womb itself, receiving the heartbeat of new life, constantly nourishing life, and being nourished by existence. The enlightened being has awakened from the dream. They have accepted the reality as it is. The self-imposed boundaries, mental walls, and personal limitations which they created in the past are no longer entertaining games to play on the infinite field of life anymore. They can see that all thoughts and beliefs are illusionary obstacles generated by the mind, and that the real truth is so big it cannot be contained by the mind. They know they could spend lifetimes trying to overcome these obstacles, to appease the ego and attain a new experience of growth, yet they choose the path of total liberation from ego instead. The ego of the enlightened being is no longer running the show anymore. There is a faint memory that is as tangible as their own shadow on the ground, which is behind them, following the trace of the form wherever it may go. They know the soul is in charge, and the guidance given by it is so clear it can be heard in the middle of the loudest rock concert. There is nothing that an enlightened being cannot understand, experience, or do. There is no mountain too challenging or too summit on their inner world, and no desire they cannot manifest in their outer world. An enlightened being is always living in alignment with the totality of their life. They realize their true spiritual nature and have integrated this awareness into every step and breath they take. They've understood they are powerful because they are connected to the infinite existence. They know the core beliefs and agreements they make with reality become the laws in which the universe instantly follows. The enlightened being understands the true nature of reality and thus are choosing to live in complete harmony with everything that is. They see how they are synchronistically creating their lives from a blank canvas, and that everything is predestined on their journey. The meeting grounds between these two paradigms contributes to bringing such a deep peace inside. When someone meets with an enlightened being, a calming stillness remains with them throughout the day, an aura of peace, gratitude, joy for life continues wherever they are. You can feel the healing, calming energy immediately when an enlightened being enters a room. The deep penetrating wisdom they convey takes the mind beyond anything you could ever find on Google. You can know you've met with an enlightened being by the level of heart energy that they emanate. The love pouring out of the enlightened heart has no limitations on what it can love. It is in love with existence itself, and this love is reflected back in the intimate connection with every being they encounter. The true enlightened being is constantly loved by people because they recognize this love is inside everything and are sharing this understanding with everyone. There is a great humble presence this knowledge creates within themselves. The enlightened being has recognized we are the source of love itself. An enlightened being is not in need of love. They are the eternal radiance of consciousness everlasting. They experience this entire life as a loving devotion to God. And they see how love is constantly revealing itself in every person, thought, and thing in the universe. This is why an ordinary day for an enlightened being contains moment-to-moment extraordinary experiences. The realization that everything is God runs deep in their bones. This knowledge causes every moment, action, and gesture they make radiate even more love into the world. Since they see love is all around them all the time, they are not defensive, possessive, or protective of anything. They feel such a closeness with the infinite light of love that you can feel the warmth from their heart and their eyes seem to shine and sparkle. An enlightened being realizes that everything and everyone in this world is here to awaken and enlighten you further on your path. They see every experience of this life as their greatest teacher. They meet each experience that arises with curiosity, appreciation, and acceptance. This is what truly makes them into the master of their lives. The enlightened being greets their inner demons with reverence, thanking them for their invitation to walk down the road into suffering again, knowing that that energy is rich with nutrients for deeper healing and realizations. The enlightened being does not take themselves or life too seriously. They instead choose to play with the children rather than philosophize with the over-responsible adults. They'd rather skip lightly and freely down to the local store and the new liberating long road back home. The enlightened being walks their own path to greater liberation by helping others find the freedom within themselves. They become a living, breathing example for others to find the truth within. The enlightened being has entered the kingdom of God and has become this awesome, expansive, healing energy itself. They have stopped reacting out of fear, control, demand, or the ego's constant need. What interests them more is effortlessly responding to everything and everyone with an authentic, conscious, heartfelt presence. Believe it or not, the enlightened state is our most natural state of being. The reason we may not experience this is because the mind has simply gotten in the way. It has formulated a set of beliefs about who we are and who we are not. These beliefs block this enlightened experience from coming through. Enlightenment is as natural to this life as breathing. The inhalation and exhalation of our breath just happens to us. We don't have to do anything for breathing to occur. The body is naturally in it. And it's not just breathing for you. It is breathing you. You are the very life force movement itself. And there can never be a separation from this life force at any time. It takes a very relaxed, quiet mind to understand this and truly feel how the breath moving through you has a life of its own. This is just like the enlightened state of being. It is self-sustaining and self-generating, just like the sun. There is nothing that can stop it or snuff it out. By simply bringing your attention to it, you realize it is already here now. So my invitation is for you to take a few practical steps this week into experiencing the enlightened being within you. Make it a priority to water the new sprouts you are growing within. Use your time wisely. Honor your true infinite nature. Know you are an eternal being without boundaries. Let yourself fall in love with this all-powerful divine being you already are. Keep the mind quiet and relax the body as much as possible. When the mind is truly calm, quiet, and at peace with what is, you can effortlessly slip into this blissful, sweet, enlightened state. It is much easier to do in a mind that is beyond fear. Make a special, personal, sacred time just for yourself every day to go deeper inside your exploration of finding peace with what is. The more often you water and feed this little sprout within yourself, the easier it is for the enlightened state to take over your life. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted. I'm sure we all are. And the first thing that we care to do is relax our bodies, head to toe, inside and out. We do this by the breath. The breath is sacred, divine, positive energy. Our pure consciousness, our God, our souls, enter these bodies and power them up, and everything comes online. Hence, the breath is created, which sustains the body to continually allow us to experience the body and the physical world. Easy in through the nose, easy out through the mouth. When you do this, you understand that the body is a super powerful. It's kind of like a magnetic sponge, and everything is absorbed by it. Very intelligent, and whatever we think, feel, do, the body absorbs. Now you imagine after so many years being in the body, especially when we have amnesia of who and what we are, all that is stored in the body. This is why everybody on this planet experiences some form of stress, and the majority don't even know they're in stress. And this is a combination of worry, fear, anxiety, hurriedness, greed, many things. So with the breath, you leave the mind alone. You leave the ego and the subconscious mind alone. You don't entertain them. The thoughts that come from them pass you by. You don't even bother to entertain those thoughts at all. You get to the point where they're just floating by all day long, all night long, and you don't care to embrace them. Every now and then, the ego might cause you to grab one. And as soon as you do, you will find that it is not something that you would care to entertain. So then you let go and it passes by. The key is to stay in the now with the breath, to relax the body, to go within, to discover the God that you are. It's all in the breath. We can do this walking in the park, sitting on the couch, in conversation with someone. We could do it all day long. And in reality, it's our natural state of being. It isn't unnatural for us to do this. It is natural. And as soon as we start to practice it, we begin to realize, this feels really good. This isn't tough at all. As a matter of fact, I really like this. I enjoy it. Why in the heck would any of us want to continually experience fear by embracing the ego mind? That doesn't make sense, does it? So the breath, the stillness, the peacefulness, the quiet is our journey within. And the body will just relax. It just drops away. All of that stuff that we carry needlessly falls away. The mind chatter's gone. We all have that mind chatter. None of us are exempt from that. For goodness sakes, we have over 60,000 plus thoughts a day that we generate ourselves, not including the tens of millions that flash by us every day. Those are programs for other people's thoughts. And we aren't interested in micromanaging anything. We just we know the feeling. We go within. It isn't a retreat. It is an acceptance, an embracement, and finally getting to know the gods that we are. And knowing that we are not the body, that we are the God within the body. So that means that we could look in the body and see, experience. In every one of our bodies, we have 7 colored lights. And they go from the tailbone, top of the head. These are not something you can pick up and stack or anything. They're spiritual, spirit etheric energy. We are spirit etheric energy. So we flow through them. And they're known as chakras on this planet. Chakra, definition, wheel. These are wheels of light. And when we flow through them, we know these bodies we're in intimately, all the way down to the quantum quark. All the blood flow, all the cells, everything. Emotions, personality, character, we know them all. It's just we somehow, we picked up amnesia and we don't know who and what we are. So the illusion of separation keeps us from knowing. But as we continue our journey with Him, we will discover, each and every one of us, that the God within these bodies is the power of healing the bodies. We aren't there yet, but we're getting closer all the time. Now, we all have memories through our experiences in this life. Some of them are really fun to review, to visit on occasion, reminisce. And we all have this really massive library, reference room, and we open the door, we turn on the light, we grab some movies. That's our subconscious mind. We grab some movies and we look at some books and pictures and say, wow, that was really fun. I really enjoyed that. I'd like to do that again. Oh, this over here, I'll never do that again. That wasn't fun at all. But I learned from it. Then we shut the light off, put everything away, shut the light off, close the door. Now that subconscious mind, it copies everything from the mind and the ego and from everything else out there. It stores it all. And a lot of it isn't even yours, but it stores it. So from time to time, we choose to do some cleaning. I don't need any of this anymore. I already learned from it and everything. I'm not going to visit it again. So you let it go. You throw it out. And then you do some tidying and cleaning, and so you have a lot of room on the shelves and storage. And then you begin to master the subconscious mind by what you want it to contain. I'm going to put this in my subconscious mind. And it's no longer random, is what I'm saying. Now, there's 3 paths. There's center path, which is the now. There's the left side path, which is the past. There's the right side path, which is the future. When you look at these 3 paths, you're standing in front of them. They pretty much look identical. That you have the trees that form the canopy, the golden trees, leaves, bark, everything. And you have the vibrant emerald green flaming grass paths. The thing that you can tell is that the one on the left and the one on the right are really worn. So they've been used a lot. But the one in the center, the now, looks brand new. So like I said, the past, some of us will stay in the subconscious mind, in that room, so long that we bring that past into a future that doesn't exist. We create that future from that past. We relive that past in that future. This is why a lot of people will say, no matter what we do, we always end up here. Now, the path on the right is the future, so to speak. We create the future in the now. Nothing is etched in stone. It's always written in the sand. So we can always change it ourselves. But we still will go into that future. I don't think any of us have not done that. And some more than often. And we want to know things. But see, we're not on the inside. So the answers are there, but we don't know that. So we think the answers are outside of us. So what we do is we ask for it. We want to know. Tell me where am I going to be a year from now, or how much money am I going to have, or who am I going to meet? When a new job, new house, new car, whatever it may be. When can I expect this to happen? What time of day will it happen? I mean, we can get really, really detailed when all along we're the ones that create the future for ourselves. So we intend it, we set it to the universe, and then we leave it alone. Now that's a toughie for a lot of us, to leave it alone, because we find ourselves wandering back into it, getting frustrated. Well, why hasn't this happened? How come I haven't met my lifelong romantic partner? How come this hasn't happened? How come I'm not getting any better? I'm supposed to be getting better. All these things. When all along, all of the answers are within us and with the gods that we are. So by being in the breath, we stay in the now. We still the ego mind and the subconscious mind. We look outside them. See, we were watching them, how they operate. We don't judge them, we just watch. And then we understand what they're about, how they operate. So that we're better, more able to not allow them to control us. And eventually, because the ego mind is not going to come into the now, because it knows it won't exist in the now. So it will do everything it can to keep you out of the now. That's the tug of war that we have. Because one minute it wants to, the future, the past. Now we know that we're not the body, that we're the God within the body. Label it however you want. Pure consciousness, the God, the kingdom of God, the heaven, the God source. There's a lot of descriptions of the same thing. But being consciously aware is a step up. Means that we know that we know through our heart mind that we are of and from the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest, eternal love. So we enter the body, we power up the body, the breath begins, we ease the body, keep it in a relaxed state. We know that every step we take on this planet, we are creating paradise, literally. We are shining our light as well. What is the light? It's the kingdom of God. It's the heaven. It's the love that we are within these bodies. It's brilliant. And 360 degrees, all the time, infinity and beyond, we are shining our light. Those of us who are somewhat consciously aware, we direct it. We just blast it everywhere. Others that are unconscious, that are asleep, they still shine. It's just not directed. So yeah, 8 billion gods in physical humanoid form, shining their light. Some awake, some asleep, everywhere. Now, we don't even think about or understand that all the trees, all the bushes, all the animals, all the rocks, everything, also have the God within them. So if you were to take a starship off this planet out far enough, and you were to look at it in its entirety, you would see that it glowed. You would also see the comparison of the lights in the universe around it would pale in comparison, because they would look like a lit candle in a dark room. Dim, dim, dim. Now, we also know that there are parts of us, the guys that we are, that are asleep. Now, they're not going to communicate with us, so to speak, because they're just out like a light. But they're with us, and we love them just the same. The other parts of us, the gods that we are awake to a certain extent, consciously aware. And this is all the light energy beings and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. In the Gugaplex. This Gugaplex fills this entire universe with not even 1 square inch of sacred space to spare. These are trillions of Gugaplexes from trillions of universes. This is the archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, the archetypes. This is the ascended masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Christ, El Moria, Abundantia, Pel, Thoth, Yahweh, Yeshua. These are all the off-worlders, galactics, and celestials. There's all the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, and beneath earth. It's all of our loved ones who have ascended without a body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. Now, light energy beings, because of the eyes that we have with these bodies, we only see 1% of what is. So all these light energy beings and all these different light spectrums, red, infrared, violet, ultraviolet, blue, ultra blue, all of these different light spectrums. Light energy beings. They come in shapes, colors, sizes, forms, configurations, of which we don't see. But we are quite familiar with one group, and part of that group we interact with and depend on every single day. Fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, trees, the trolls, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, ether, wood. The mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, and the minotaur. And just ask yourself, can I stay in this body without water, without air, without fire, without earth, without wood, without ether? Could I stay in the body? No. We'd be forced to leave the bodies that we're in. The magics of the elementals, these bodies rely on big time. Now, the ascended masters, they have ascended into physical form and have mastered physical form. They've ascended out of physical form. They hold pure consciousness, God form. We have ascended into physical form. We're in the process of mastering physical form. We are creating our experiences to perfect our creations. Now, the off-worlders, the galactics, the celestials, over 1,000 species, civilizations travel through this solar system every day. Trillions throughout the universes every day. We're familiar with a small group, Pleiadians, Sirians, Arcturians, Andromedans, Felines, Zeta Reticuli, Anunnaki, Nords, Greys, Draco Reptilian, Golden Pyramid Albion. Now, this particular group has been assisting us in our evolution. Enlightenment, ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. Now, the archangels, they're actually a civilization that vibrated at a different frequency than we do. Their bodies contain God. Our bodies contain God. So we are not different. We are part of each other. Not the bodies, but the God within. Now, we don't meet them like we see and meet with each other, talk with each other, interact with each other. There are occasions where they will meet with us out of the clear blue, and it's random. And you could just be going about your day or whatever, and someone just starts out of the clear blue, could be anywhere. So we just start conversation. And you go through the conversation, it's over, and then a lot of the times you'll come into the fact of saying to yourself, there was something about that person, something about that conversation where that had to have been an angel. And you feel a little bliss with that. There's times where we are just thinking it'd be nice to have someone help me with this. And someone shows up, or something happens to help you with it. That's an angel. You ever notice that they're gone as soon as they come and do it, they're gone? And you say to yourself, how can that be? That had to have been an angel. They deliver one particular message in many, many, many different ways. And they have been doing this for eons. And isn't it absolutely magna glorious to be alive in these bodies? Because as the gods that we are, as the pure love that we are, when we're not in these bodies, we're not experiencing any of that. Any of the things, making love, kissing, hugging, holding, laughing, crying, eating, drinking. None of that. Period. Sleeping. So you can see why these bodies are so enticing to us, gods. Because we get to experience all that. It's like an endless playground. But see, we get so absorbed in the material physical world that we forget who and what we really are. So we end up taking all of that for granted throughout life. And then we say, life is ho-hum, drum, and nothing. It's boring, and, what am I here for? Why am I here? I shouldn't even be here. I've heard all those things. But it is absolutely magna glorious to be alive in these bodies, and that is bliss. And it's so important for us to be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with ourselves at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest, purest, eternal gratitude all the time. Doesn't matter what's going on out there around us, but to be in gratitude, it's not tough. You can always find always find things to be grateful for, no matter what's going on with you or your body. You'd be amazed when you practice this and you become more into gratitude, with gratitude, everything changes. Now, they can surround any one of us at any one time, tens of thousands, tens of millions. Because of their vibrational frequency, they can hold a large number in a small area. Ask them. In a blink of the eye, they'll be there and you'll be in bliss. Now, a billion light years away, part of the God that we are is there. There's no separation. That's the illusion. Space is an illusion, all of it. We're one. We always have been, always will be, ever, beyond, and forever. And we're all gathered here, consciously aware, or awake and asleep, and full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance. And we're all one. We're all God. And we're all love. And our God force, love, light, energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And it continues to grow, intensify, expand. We immediately form a white fire circle of light around the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. This light emanates from the kingdom of God, the heaven, the gods that we are. We are the heaven, the kingdom of God. We are love. The God source. And this circle of light, this fiery white circle of light, is permeating, saturating, and flooding this planet and all life, the highest supreme value in the universe, with this love, with this deep eternal love. Nothing can avoid it. Lower dark matter, survivor matter frequencies vaporize. They cannot sustain their frequency of such low level and the highest frequency of all, love. Nothing can escape it. Every crack, every cranny, everything. Infinity and beyond. We begin to ascend, and we immediately are met with this massive ocean of glitter. Now, it's not like you would picture on this planet. This is a combination. The best way to come close to describing it is this massive grand finale fireworks display and this massive grand finale laser light show display and a ballroom globe that reflects lights, mirrors. We're familiar with those. This one's 1 trillion times larger and 1 trillion times more intense. And when you combine them all, that's about as close as we'll get to describing the ocean of glitter. And we're curious, so we go to the reflective points in this ocean of glitter. And we notice these little tiny microscopic, perfectly etched mirrors. And we enter them. And we discover that all of us, all the gods that we are, housed in all forms of physical bodies of some kind, some shape, form, or another, are teaching and learning, learning and teaching. Student, teacher, teacher, student. One or the other or both. And we do this. It's a natural state. But we're so preoccupied with the externality of this world that we just don't recognize it. So as each of us decide to go within and stay within, we will discover that everything is the God. Tree isn't life. It's the God that enters the tree to experience the tree as the life. Dog, cat, mouse, squirrel, bug, fly, whatever. And when you're within on your in your endless journey within, you'll recognize this and you'll view it with great gratitude. We're immediately met with the emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all, the gods that we are in these bodies, that we are the power of healing. We are then met with the violet, blue, purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is a column of light that we all created to remind ourselves, the gods that we are within these bodies, of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. We are then met with the white fire. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all that from head to toe, inside and out, we are protected 24/7, infinity and beyond, with a white fire armor. This armor is love. Pure, deep, eternal love, the highest vibrational frequency. And it enrobes us and encircles us. Nothing like the armor on this planet, way beyond that. So no lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies, no demon possession, no attachments, never. Yet, only you have the power that if you decide to lower your vibrational frequency low enough, whether consciously or unconsciously, through hatred, fear, anger, greed, envy, revenge, hurriedness, worry, you will create a breach in your white fire armor, enough so to allow the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies to come flooding in. Then, possibilities of demon possession, attachments, many other things. But if you do decide to do this, you're immediately met with a double column of light. First part of this column of light is purple transmuting flame. We created this part of the column of light to remind us all that we can bring in the purple transmuting flame. We can transmute all these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutral light substance, sending them to pure consciousness, where they are no more. We are then met with the second half of this column of light, the violet ray. We created this part of the column of light to remind us all that we can bring in the violet ray right behind the purple transmuting flame, cleanse and purify the area where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies were, sealing the breach in our white fire armor, restoring our vibrational harmony, the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal love, gratitude, and peace. We are then met with the golden light pink light. This is a column of light that we created, the gods that we are within these bodies, to remind us that we are the sun, the sunlight, the rain, the rainbow, the sunset and the sunrise, the oceans, the rivers, the lakes, the streams, the trees, the forests, the soils, the mountains, the animals. We're everything. Everything is us. So the next time you do view an ocean front, a mountain view, a snowfall, a rainbow, starry-lit night sky. Now, we always will do what we, like it's not part of us, so we say, isn't that beautiful? But when you become consciously aware, you look at it through the heart mind and you say, that is the God that I am. And whoever you're with might look and say, that is the God that I am. That's when you go within, and the journey within, you discover this. Absolutely spectacular feeling through the heart mind. We continue to ascend above the planet. And some of us step outside our physical form, hover effortlessly above it, if we're carrying physical form. And we do that because it's fun. And we can. We come into full contact with this massive crystalline light tower. We created this tower, larger than the solar system and beyond. In the center of the column, we see this massive oblong sphere. In the center of the sphere, we see this golden white bowl of light. It is surrounded by multicolored rings of light that seem to never end. They, in turn, create this super bright white, electrified, glittering, reflective cloud. And it is, in turn, absorbed through our heart minds. And it's like a warm embrace that never ends. We discover that the golden white bowl of light is the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest, eternal love. And then comes well-being, gratitude, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, tremendous prosperity, tremendous abundance. And we then understand that this is all a reflection of the gods that we are within these bodies. We designed the top of this crystalline light tower so the golden ocean can come cascading down 360 degrees, 24/7, infinity and beyond. The golden ocean is the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, and purest of the purest purest, eternal love. And this is what we're made of. And it floods this planet, infinity and beyond. On it, in it, above it, and below it, and all life, the highest supreme values in the universe. Now, we're drops of this golden ocean. We also hold its essence. Golden ocean is the drops of the golden ocean. The only illusion is separation. We see our meditative sphere at set center circle. We all created this sphere just a few days away from 4 years ago. Holds 1,800 of our meditations in perpetual motion. And these meditations continue to grow, expand, and intensify. Hundreds of millions of us gathered on and off world, consciously aware, to a certain extent, focused on the total liberation of this planet, Earth, Gaia, Arya, that's now. Ascension into love. You immerse yourself in this meditative sphere. It can be seen, heard, and felt in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And it continues to intensify, expand, and grow. Quantum physicists have proven that the universe is a holographic field of energy, matter, and consciousness. with our mind-body as a universal hologram containing the entire field. With our mind-body as a universal hologram containing the entire field, at last they've proven that the whole is contained within its parts. It may be good to know this, or even better to remember this, because someday we will want to sit down and explore this amazing universe out there. I join you in a meditation and return to close us out. Take an easy breath in through the nose and an easy breath out through the mouth. Move easily and slowly. The conscious energy source flows into each new moment so quickly that we cannot catch it or escape from it. We are it. And it is showing us that we are amazing beings who are connected to everything in the most extraordinary ways. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night and the following morning. We will return here Sunday, February 6th, 2022, 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation